guys, welcome back. It's Jen with Happy Humble Home, and today is Friday, so that means it's time for this week's weekly update. But before we flash back into that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that way you're notified of all the fun activities here on Happy Humble Home. So let's go ahead and flash back.
Y'all ready to pull the big carrot?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna pull the one that we already got the seeds off of.
Oh.
Oh, big carrot.
Ready?
Yeah.
3.
No, don't. Yes.
Yeah, because I've already got the seeds off it, and I'm gonna use it in the pot roast today.
Okay.
All of this. Oh my gosh.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't most people have troubles growing carrots?
Yeah.
It's pretty straight too.
Carrot?
Yeah, it is pretty straight.
I'm pleased.
Bad.
Mom,
Yeah.
do you want to do
Good job. Good job, Mr. Carrot.
All right, you can go ahead and stop it.
Mommy, do
Okay.
you do small?
All right. Hang on. Alright guys, so I was out there doing my apples that I got from the farmer's market this morning for applesauce, and you can see here that they're all like nice and cooked down. I didn't get a whole lot of apples, but now we're going to throw them in the food processor and get them ready to do some freezer applesauce. Alright, hey guys, so as you seen yesterday, I prepped the apples that I got at the farmer's market. It was just like a little small 2-pound batch, so I made up some applesauce. I got some green beans that I prepped those, blanched them, and froze those, and now I'm about to vacuum seal those. And then over here, as you can see, I'm working on the zucchini that I got. I'm shredding some of it and we'll dehydrate that. The other part, the slices, I'm actually going to freeze those, so I'll be using that tray for my green beans to pre-freeze them. And then with my yellow squash, I'm probably going to do kind of a combination of the same. I will shred some to dehydrate and I will freeze some slices. So that's what we're up to today. Alright, hey guys, so I wanted to show y'all something that I thought was really interesting very quick about getting my tomatoes ripe. The ones that on that one crazy plant that I had given up, it's been producing a lot of tomatoes lately and really beautiful ones. So I'm really excited. But we're supposed to get really cold tonight, and I'm afraid we're going to get a frost tonight. So I was outside trying to get all these beautiful green tomatoes off of my plant and try to get them where they can ripen off the plant and then I don't lose them to frost. So I'm going to show y'all something that I seen on, I think it was Instagram or something. Anyways, I seen some short reel thing, whatever. But I'll tell y'all when I show y'all. Okay, so y'all know I'm obviously very new to gardening, but I seen someone mention that if you put just your green tomatoes, like, look at that, this is pretty. That one came off the vine today, off the plant today, or they're not vine. But anyways, if you put it in like, she did a cardboard box. This is just like an old cake box from a bakery that I have taped up the sides on. But you can see here, I just have a single apple in here, and I've just been keeping the lid shut. And then within a few days, you can see where that one's starting to turn. And then these are 4 that I pulled out today to go ahead and let them ripen on the kitchen counter. And then these are ones that I've actually, that started out green like that. Was really cool, and it's something, I forget the kind of gas that an apple emits that helps a tomato ripen up. And it's, you know, these like I said, I'll set those on my kitchen counter to let them get nice and red like these, and then I'll pop them in freezer bags too. And once I get them all when I want them, then I'll work on preserving them up. So I just thought that was really cool. I've never heard of that before, and so far it's working really well, y'all. So I'm pretty excited. And that may be some like really old trick that I don't know about because I'm very much new to gardening. So hey guys, so we're back here at Pinson Mounds State Park. I don't know if I've brought y'all here before, but it's a state park that we've been to a couple times, and it's based off like any mounds. Alright guys, so let's show you what's been going on with our garden area here, because this past week we did officially have our first frost on like the 18th of October, I believe. I want to say November, y'all. But anyways, as you can see here, this little tomato did not fare, which I just left him on there. So they're definitely starting to take a vibe. So as you can tell here, y'all, this plant did not fare. It does have a couple small ones on it that were starting that I didn't get off. I just kind of let them be because there was, dang it, there's one really big one there. I can go ahead and save him though. Sorry, there's one really big one I spotted that I can go ahead and save because he still looks pretty good. But I did come out here Sunday or Monday I came out here to get all what you've seen where I pulled them in the garage to help them ripen up with the apple. And my plant was all nice and green. And 2 nights of frost in a row has made it go back to this. And now we are back up to about 80 degrees for our high. So we're kind of in that weird stage right now. But that's okay because most of all those, minus this one right here, was kind of little baby ones. So this week I will get out here and get all these cut up and tore up and probably put into my compost and stuff. And I also, as you can see here, I did go ahead, since our dog decided to eat the carrot that I was going to preserve and see how I could get it to preserve in the ground itself. The dog decided to eat that. I removed the board that was here for our other carrots, and the carrot seeds that I did save, sorry, trying to stay out of the sun, keep all out of the sun. The carrot seeds that I did save from our plant actually did start to sprout. When I removed the board, they were sprouting. So I went ahead and took off the board completely and put down some leaves to help kind of cover that for the fall. This over here, I planted some garlic and onions in here, so hopefully that'll pop up really good during the spring is my hope. So I went ahead and kind of covered that bed up as well. I've got my compost, which it's over there covering up, and it's been covered up for a little while. But that's kind of how the garden's going. The plants out front are starting to die off a little bit too, all my herbs and everything. This week we had some family in town, so we kind of changed up school schedule a little bit to accommodate that. And
Like I said, we had our first frost. And that's been life. I've just been, as you can see, I went to the farmer's market, so that's why I was busy trying to make sure that I got the zucchini, the yellow squash, my beans, and my apples all preserved up the way I wanted to. I've also been dehydrating more items like celery. I used some for a recipe, and then instead of just letting the rest go to waste or not getting around to using it before it goes bad in the refrigerator, I went ahead and dehydrated it and used it in making some more bone broth. And the way that I found it's easiest to store the bone broth is I just have a separate ice tray, and I just individually fill up that ice tray for bone broth, so that way it's easy to just get out like 1 or 2 tablespoons if you need just a little bit of bone broth. Or in the case when I use soup, I just kind of divvy it up in bags, and then I just dump the whole bag in there and they'll melt as it's cooking. So I found that's the easiest way to use bone broth, because I did try to freeze like a whole bunch in a jar, but then I had to wait for the jar to thaw out enough for me to pour it into my soup, and I would tend to forget about it. So that's why I like the little ice tray thing better. Or if you use like a silicone container, like a silicone popsicle stick, honestly would probably work too. Just fill that up with bone broth, and then you just dump it out of the silicone mold. That would probably work better too. But anyways, that's how I found it's easiest to use bone broth, or really any broth like that. And that's really been about it. I've got a couple more nights of work. We will not be going on our hiking trip next weekend that we had planned, simply because with the way temperatures are right now, and since it will be our first trip with our youngest, we definitely don't want it to be too cold at night. And where we was going to be staying, or where we was planning on making camp for the night, was on top of a ridge right over, and it overlooks the river, so it's very, very windy up there anyways. And on top of that, a lot of the trees are, starting to become bare, so you don't really have that wind barrier. And then just with the average low temperature right now, we're just afraid it would make too cold of a night that he would not enjoy it, and we definitely don't want his first trip to be one he does not enjoy. So we think we'll just wait until springtime, until it gets a little warmer, and then we can do that same trip with all 5 of us. So I won't be having that video come up. That'll be a future trip for the springtime. Yeah, it's just been about it. As always, if y'all have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them in the comment section below, and I will check in with y'all later. Have a great weekend.